Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Wrestling Fans Insight. We've taken a couple of weeks off, and we're a little bit re-energized, except for a couple of people. We do not have Carlos because he's having his little fantasy with Brian Cage today, and we are without Brian Ballard, who's out due to laryngitis, so I guess that's going to do us a lot of good today if he was here, so just kidding. Hope you're getting better, Brian. We'll look forward to having you here in the future again.
I mean, he could tap the microphone.
Well, he could, but, well, I guess that's his show, Tap Out Talk.
Yeah. Do a little Morse code.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, how William is back after he's been out a good month. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing absolutely wonderful. Extremely busy with the personal life, but you know how it goes.
Yeah, I do. I've been busy myself. I wasn't even aware when we last recorded that Easter was last weekend, and that's when we decided, you know what, we'll just take 2 weeks off, and I apparently must have not told you or whatnot, so my apologies on that.
You might have, I don't know, you might have talked about it on the podcast, because honestly, I haven't even had time to listen to any of them lately.
Well, we mentioned when we were going to be back, but I don't think I ever clearly communicated that with you, so that was my fault.
Happens.
Yeah, so, but without really having any dullness, we do have our first lady on board. Ow, sorry I hit the microphone. But Heather!
Oh my God.
Yes.
Welcome back.
I'm glad I'm back. That was like a long break there.
Now the real question is, did you miss us harassing you?
Yeah. I've been looking, studying on how to slap somebody through the internet.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Nah, just kidding. It was a meme that I found. Kermit the Frog was reading a book. It was like how to slap someone through the internet. And I just thought it was funny because I'm always talking about I'm going to smack y'all.
Heather smack someone? No. We would never believe that whatsoever.
She needs to see that girl goo meme I have.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Don't give her any ideas here. So, how was your last couple of weeks there, Heather?
It's been pretty good. I'm just hanging out and dealing with the same little health issues, but it's been okay. Like the pain and stuff has gotten to me a little bit a couple of times, but I've been okay otherwise.
No.
Just kind of overdoing it, so I had to tell myself to slow down.
Yep.
Take it easy.
Definitely, especially with that, you have that fibromyalgia. Yeah, you definitely need to kind of take it easy. Especially keep that foot elevated and everything else. So,
yeah, it's not me on my butt a couple of times. So I was like, no, you got to get your butt in the bed. So.
Awesome. All righty. Well, shall we get right to it? We're going to go right over the WrestleMania weekend, but we're going to start off with Stand and Deliver. I thought overall the whole weekend was great as far as both the developmental brand and the main roster. But I'm going to give Will the microphone because he actually took the time to write down the results where I didn't. So
I certainly did.
Well, why don't we actually just talk about each match as we go through it? So
sounds good to me. We'll start off with the pre-show match where Chase University and Tyler Bate defeated the Schism.
Yeah, that was really interesting because, Duke Hudson was the one that put the University online, and seeing how it was led up, we all thought maybe this was going to set up where Duke just demolishes the Chase University, and we end up seeing a double turn on this. He ends up coming back and pulling through for Chase U.
Yeah, he actually had me laughing throughout the match because of just his mannerisms. Like he was just disinterested with the match.
Yeah, he suckered us all. I really was waiting for him to turn on Chase U.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah,
I was waiting for that or for him to turn around and clock, Tyler Bate.
Or even, just kind of kick Andre Chase in the face or something, you know. But yeah, it was quite surprised. Were you able to catch that match, Heather?
No, I missed that one.
Oh, okay. Well, anyhow, why don't we go ahead and move on?
All right. So in the first official match, Tiffany Stratton versus Gigi Dolan versus Zoe Stark versus Indy Hartwell versus Roxanne Perez versus Lyra Valkyria. This was kind of a huge one for me because we've been waiting for a while to see it, but Indy, of course, took the match. And I thought it was a killer moment. And the whole reason I wanted to talk about Standing Deliver was mostly because of the end of this match. And not so much about Indy winning, but I saw what I needed to see to have a healthier respect for Roxy.
Yeah. I don't know if the injuries are real that she's facing, but you could tell maybe someone kind of rethought the process having a very young champion on the developmental brand. Not saying that there's anything wrong with it, but it was awesome to see Indy finally get her due for as long as she's been working really hard in the NXT brand.
See, I don't know if it was tactical or not, but at the end of the match, what I'm referring to is they caught Roxanne looking up and smiling at Indy.
Yeah. Well, I think she
I
was...
saw that too.
I think
she was laying up there smiling.
I think she was just happy to see that Indy was getting her due as well. You know, an awesome moment. What I really liked was seeing Johnny Gargano, Candice LeRae, and Dexter Lumis come out and celebrate with Indy. That was a very special moment too. I don't know if you could have done anything more special for that young lady.
I mean, honestly, the next step would be to move her up.
Yeah, I would like to see her stay in NXT just for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Give her at least a decent reign.
Yeah.
You know, don't make her a transitional champion like they do with some of the NXT talent after WrestleMania, because that kind of crap gets old and it doesn't work very well for talent.
Or even the reverse thing where we saw what they did with Solo Sikoa.
Yeah, that was kind of garbage too. I did not like the way they did that.
No.
Why don't we go ahead and move on to the match number 2 for the night?
Okay, it was the Creed brothers versus Gallus versus, of course, Tony D'Angelo and Stax. I just call them the family. Gallus took away the win and kept their tag team championships for a reason, though.
Yeah,
Joe Coffey.
Yeah, I mean, Joe Coffey coming back. Awesome to see them reunited. I thought it was the right call to have the Gallus retain.
I honestly agree with you. I think that they are there for that run, and it's going to be a good run.
Yeah, let's hope they make it a good run. I think they're also deserving of making main roster, but I think right now they want to kind of take it a little slow because main roster is now getting just a bit overloaded. I think they need to reevaluate the main roster before they just bring any more people up. Just for the fact that we know after WrestleMania, that's usually the first part of the, I guess you can say, mass layoffs.
Have you seen the talk about Eva Marie?
Don't get me started. No. But Heather, what'd you think of that tag team match?
Didn't watch it.
Well then.
Okay.
Yeah, I was trying to talk about the women's match, and y'all just wanted to move on.
Oh, sorry. All right. Well, we'll take a step back then.
Oh, sorry. Why don't you talk about the women's match there, Heather?
No, I mean, I just really like the women's match, because I just like, they showcase their talent really well. And the ending was really good, with Dexter Lumis coming out there and helping Indy get up the ladder and everything. And then what y'all were talking about, Roxanne outside the ring and her smile and everything. I just wanted to talk about that. I just thought it was an excellent match. And y'all just didn't want to let me talk on that one. That was like one of the main ones that I watched right there.
So wait a minute, you only watched the women's match and that was it?
No, I watched the other matches, but to be honest, I can't really remember what happened.
Sorry. It's been a long 2 weeks. We forgot we have other co-hosts, I guess. Don't slap us. Don't slap us. Save that energy for Carlos when he comes back.
But no, I really didn't get. I was watching the one that y'all were talking about, but there was some other stuff going on, so I couldn't really pay attention to it. But like I was like hearing it, but not really getting to pay attention to it. So I can't really talk about it. So
well, fine then. Jeez. All right. What's match number 3 there, Will?
I don't know if I want to talk anymore. Okay, no. The men's 5-way for the North American title. Dragunov versus McDonough versus Dragon Lee versus Wesley versus Axiom. This was a killer match. Obviously, Wes walked out with the win. But, I mean, just the pure athleticism. We got to see Dragon Lee come out, do his basic debut for the company. What do you think about the match?
I thought it was stellar. I mean, I thought that was match of the night, to be honest. The way they were performing. All 5 guys had a purpose in that match. Nobody was really shortchanged as far as time. I think we got a big future now with Dragon Lee coming into the fold. Ilya and McDonough, they're far from over the way this is looking.
Yeah. I'm actually looking forward to more of a 3-way Dragon Lee with Axiom and Wesley.
And I was almost waiting for an Axiom heel turn in some ways, but that didn't happen. Heather, what's your take?
I thought the match was really good, and I'm really impressed with Dragon Lee. And I've always been impressed with Axiom, and I'm just really glad that Wesley retained. That's what I got to say.
We gave her the time, and then she's going to start getting snippy with us. That's all I'm going to say.
Some of the matches. Well, I'm just saying some of the matches I really didn't get to pay attention to, but for real, I'm really impressed with Dragon Lee, and then I've always liked Axiom, and I just think Wesley is doing an excellent job of being a champion.
Isn't Dragon Lee Rush's brother?
I can't remember.
I think so.
I can't remember if it's his brother or cousin.
I think it's his brother.
It might be his brother. I know they're related. I just can't remember which line.
Yeah. No, I'm seriously impressed with the guy, especially his power.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he defeated his own brother for the... Or no, did he defeat his brother for the Ring of Honor World Championship? Or was I thinking... No, that was Bandito. I'm getting my guys mixed up all over the place. So, yeah. Anyways, what's next in the line there?
Oh, you're talking to me?
Yeah.
All right.
You're the one with the results.
So it was Grayson Waller versus Gargano. Gargano took the victory. I thought this was a great match. I loved the tap out. And then the moment, again, where the 4 that were previously in a group come together again. Heather?
I like that Candice LeRae come up there and got to knock the crap out of Grayson Waller. She got to beat him with a kendo stick, and she was at this ringside with her son, and then she finally gave her son to someone else and just started knocking the crap out of Grayson Waller, and he really deserved it. Because when Grayson Waller showed up at their house and her standing there talking about, stop, holding the baby. Nah, girl, you put that baby down and you go up there and help your man. Nah, so I'm glad she finally got her licks in on Grayson Waller.
See, my big takeaway from it really was how well Waller played the heel.
Yeah, he's basically the next.
He is definitely obnoxious.
I shouldn't say next, but I think he's going to be the equivalent of MJF from AEW. I think he's going to be the next best kayfabe heel in WWE.
I think he handles it better, better than Theory does even.
Yeah, I think him and Theory will give it a run for their money.
Yeah. So
can't stand either one.
How do you really feel, Heather?
How does she really feel?
Yeah, well, I don't. Well, I'm asking because I don't want her to snip at us when we get to the WrestleMania results. So.
Oh, you
babyface forever.
About WrestleMania. Theory, I can't stand Theory even more now after WrestleMania.
Okay,
We better finish NXT first.
so for the women's tag titles, Isla Dawn and Alba Fire defeated Fallon and Kiana James. I thought it was an okay match. Just kind of predictable with the way they were handling it. I'd rather see these two ladies doing singles.
Yeah, it didn't really make sense for me to see Fallon Henley and Kiana James to win the championships in the first place.
No.
It was almost like they were looking to...
I would actually rather see Kiana James with Tatum Paxley.
Well, I would have rather just seen Chance and Carter defend and lose it to Isla Dawn and Alba Fire.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't get what the whole reasoning was. It was like a transitional change. And I really hate that. I really hate the whole paper champion term, but that's exactly what they did to Kiana James and Fallon Henley. It was a good match. The championships went to the right team. Just we had the wrong team defending them, in my opinion.
Yeah. Heather?
I didn't really think that they should have been champions to begin with, because they really didn't they cheat to win to begin with anyway.
Well, Kiana James cheated, but Fallon Henley didn't notice that Kiana helped make the cheat until after the match.
That's the other thing that's not working for me is the clash.
And I think it's about... I haven't watched NXT, so sorry for those of you who have. I haven't seen if there's a end result between Kiana James and Brooks yet, but I'm sure that's bound to happen here shortly where he finds out the truth. You go ahead and say that. Sorry.
It basically looks like what you're going to see is a split between Briggs and Jensen.
Oh, dear.
Yeah,
Really?
I see that coming.
Oh, man. Oh, boy. That's going to be a bummer.
Yep. But I think they're both fully capable.
Well, yeah, especially Briggs. As big as that dude is,
Briggs.
He can handle a singles match on his own.
Briggs is a killer. I think he's honestly good to go. Jensen, I want to see more out of on developmental.
No. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Anything else, Heather?
No.
That was short and sweet. All right.
Okay. And for the NXT Championship, Mello gets it done against Braun Breaker. It was a really good match, except for I'm still not feeling the interference. There's no point to it.
Well, yeah, I mean, the thing that kind of made sense, and big shout out to real Jack Cassidy, after the match was over, I think the right guy has the championship, but why would you graciously hand your championship that you just lost to the new champion after you just got cheated in a way?
Yeah.
I mean, he still kicked out after the belt to the head, but after, what was it? I cannot remember his finishing move.
Whose?
Mello's.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, we're terrible wrestling fans.
No.
But no, I mean, when Mello hits his finisher and pins Braun that way, it's almost like, well, what was the purpose of having Trick Williams run in and take Braun Breaker out with the championship belt? It don't make sense.
I will say that I'm happy to see the heel turn.
Yeah, the heel turn, I'm sure everybody was expecting right away. That one I did kind of notice just because Twitter already was posting crazy on that one.
Yeah, I really didn't think he really belonged as a babyface anyways, given, like we talked about before, how his father and his uncle started.
Right. Well, and with the recent personal events of his father.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not helping Braun's image either right now, so I think now's the best time to start playing up the heel move anyway.
Yeah.
And Heather, what'd you think of the main event? That's it?
I really pay attention to it. I'm sorry.
Bad monkey.
I'm sorry. I'm real for real. There was just so much stuff going on here, and I didn't get to go back and rewatch it. So.
It's all good. we figured we'd give you your final say here before we try to take a break here. So, yeah. Anyhow, there's NXT Stand and Deliver, and we'll be back here in a couple of minutes, and we'll get right into NXT or not NXT our review of WrestleMania 39. All right, let's get into night one of WrestleMania 39, the opening match for the WWE United States Championship. Austin Theory retains over John Cena. And Will's already laughing, so let's go ahead and get over that one.
I'm sorry, but this was just a corny get him over match to me. I heard a lot of criticism over the past couple of weeks about John Cena. You got to realize he's doing the traditional thing. He's coming in, he's getting guys over.
Well, that's the funny part is sorry, Heather, we'll get to you, I promise. I won't forget you this time. The one thing I think a lot of people going is, well, that was not really passing the torch. Well, in a way, yes, it was, because I don't know how many people remember their history. John Cena's first time winning the United States Championship was at WrestleMania against The Big Show. And how did John Cena win it? You remember? He first was going to try to take the chain and whack Big Show, but the referee stopped Cena, grabbed the chain.
God, I hated that chain.
And while the referee was putting the chain away, Cena grabbed one of his, I think,
brass knucks,
then waxed the Big Show while the ref was too busy being distracted putting the chain away.
No, I remember the history of him winning at WrestleMania.
Yeah, so in a way, John Cena cheated to win that United States Championship. So for anyone to say that was a cheap way to pass the torch, well, no, it really wasn't, because Cena cheated to win, even though then he was a face winning his first championship. So
yeah, I mean, if you think about it, the amount of physicality and the likelihood of him having just as bright of a career, it all matches up. Heather.
Well, y'all know I don't like Austin Theory anyway, and I was like sitting there, and I'm just sitting there. I'm like, okay, and then like the ref got took out. I'm like, there you freaking go, the ref bump, of course, because Theory tapped out. Yeah, okay, whatever. The ref didn't see it. And then there's a low blow. Oh, like, screw you, Austin Theory, which, we knew he was going to retain anyway because John Cena is just there to put Austin Theory over. But, it's just like the typical, predictable match, Ref bump, low blow, over, Theory retains. Whatever.
Wow, I don't think she had a very strong opinion there, do you?
I'm not going to comment on it. I already know.
All right. For the men's WrestleMania showcase, the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match, the Street Profits defeating the Viking Raiders, Alpha Academy, and the team of Braun Strowman and Ricochet. Heather, what'd you think of that?
I thought it was a pretty good match. I'm glad the Street Profits won, and it's just like the performances and some of the spots in there and stuff was good. Like Ricochet, he just the flips that he does, and the flippity floppity shit. Yeah, okay, but yeah, I just like him and Montez Ford. The stuff that they do, I just love it. And that was damn, I wrote it down. The Tower of Doom spot where they were getting ready to do foot, and Ricochet jumped off the top and just flipped them all over. I mean, I thought that was excellent. And then Gable did a German suplex on Strowman. Oh my God, okay, how did you do that? Okay, but yeah, I just thought it was an excellent match, and I'm glad that Street Profits won.
I thought it was amazing how Gable did it, being how much taller Braun Strowman is.
Yeah.
You could almost just see possible injury forming that, but Gable was able to execute it perfectly on Braun. So, Will?
Yeah, I can't disagree with anything that's been said already. It was an amazing match to me. My big takeaway was Gable and Ricochet really tore it down.
Yeah. And I thought this was a good way to maybe consider it be the number one contender match for the Undisputed Tag Team Championship. So hopefully, I know the Profits did they challenge KO and Sammy on Raw for the titles, or was it just a match? I think it was just a match.
Give me a second.
Nonetheless, if it wasn't a championship match, definitely Street Profits should be first in line after the Usos get their rematch with Zayn and Owens. So I believe it was just a regular match.
It
right?
was.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So we're going to go ahead and move to match number 3. Seth freaking Rollins defeating Logan Paul. I don't know if Logan Paul could... He looks damn good every time he's in that ring. He prepares very well. He's trained. He's athletic. He definitely shows that he has business being in a WWE ring, whether fans like it or not.
And that's just what it is he's just not well liked. He's always been known as the antagonistic kind of guy, but he does kill it in the ring.
Yes, he does. We saw it in the past with Roman Reigns, The Miz, last year's WrestleMania when he teamed with The Miz and went against the Mysterios. He just continues to impress me every time he's in that ring. Heather, what's your thoughts?
Well, like you said, he does really good in the ring. I don't like him, but of course, that's to be expected because I don't like anybody. But he does really good in the ring, and I liked it when he was getting ready to do off the top up there onto Seth Rollins at the announce table, and ended up being KSI inside the the hell was that?
The Prime water bottle.
The Prime Energy drink bottle. And he ended up going through KSI through the announce table. But yeah, he does really well in the ring. I just don't like him.
Wow. Alrighty. The 6-woman tag match. I thought this might have been kind of just the dud of the night. I think the wrong team won. But we had the team of Lita, Trish Stratus, and Becky Lynch defeating Damage Control. I thought for sure this would have been where maybe Damage Control gained some momentum and worked toward becoming 3-time women's tag team champions. But this is definitely not the case. I think this hurt Damage Control more than anything.
Heather first.
Oh.
I really didn't. I'm sorry, I really didn't pay attention to this match very much because I already knew that I already knew that they were going to win because I've already been hearing that Damage Control was going to be split up, and that seems to be the case as it is anyway. But I know that I knew that Becky and Lita were not going to keep the belts very long because it's just Lita's not a full timer. But I just knew that it was just Lita and Becky and Trish were going to win because it's just. They're the Hall of Famers, were going to at WrestleMania, so they was going to win. But it's just, I don't know. It just seemed like, just a couple of spots that I did see that, Lita was kind of slow and but like I said, she's not a full timer. So I just, it is what it is.
Okay. I thought the actual match was well done, except for, like you said, the ending. It really didn't make any sense to me. I think the better thing would have been, with the direction they're going, to have Trish turn then and then go back and the following episode on Raw or whatnot, then she gets into it with Damage Control.
Yeah, they have a slow build to having Trish turn on Becky Lynch. Kind of like what they did with Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty when they were the Rockers.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw back then how slowly they built to showing that Shawn was eventually going to turn on Marty Jannetty, and eventually he did. This just was kind of unexpected. Everybody was expecting Trish to turn, but it never happened during the celebration process.
Yeah, I think they really just kind of dropped the ball on this match.
Yeah, they did. But the next match made up for it, and I'm sure Heather is going to be excited as hell as we bring it up. Rey Mysterio getting revenge and finally showing his punk-ass son, Dominik Mysterio, by defeating him. And why don't we start with Heather? Because I know she's going to have a long-winded answer for this one.
Okay, how about his entrance? Like, how stupid was that? Like, he's escorted to the ring in a prison van. Like, are you stupid? Okay, like that just was like killed it like right there.
Now wait a minute, wait a minute. I'm going to stop you on that one. I thought that was pretty good for being ex-con Dom.
Oh yeah, okay. For his not even an hour or so in jail. Okay.
Oh, Carlos is going to eat you alive when he comes back, especially after he listens to this.
No, I thought that was so stupid, man. But like Ray's entrance was just it was superb. I loved that he coming in with Snoop Dogg driving the lowrider and to his music and everything. But yeah, the match. Oh my God, Ray used his belt on Dom like he just whooped his ass. Like I loved it. I was laughing my ass off. I thought it was so funny. And then, like Dom throwing the drink in his sister's face. Like then we come to find out, that was not planned. He just did it. And his sister was like really pissed at him. So, and then like I love the whole thing like with Legado del Fantasma, like having Ray's back and everything. And then Bad Bunny, he stopped Dom from using the chain on Ray, and like I just loved the whole match. Finally, Ray just whooped Dom's ass like he deserved.
Hey Heather, we do have a fan that took the microphone, and he's gonna speak up right now.
Okay.
Well. Look, I just tuned in right in time to hear you talking trash about Dominik Mysterio. How dare you? God works in mysterious ways, let me tell you. Because I literally on my lunch and I tune in, and here's Heather trashing Dominik. How dare you? How dare you? The blasphemy of this. How dare you? When the cat's away, the mice will play, huh?
Hi, Carlos.
Hey, Carlos.
That was perfectly set up. Wow.
Well,
how dare you?
I hurried and popped on the Twitter space because I missed a request.
Have you ever been to jail, Heather? Do you know what it's like? I mean, come on.
Yeah, I've been to jail. I've been to jail, believe me.
Even 1 hour feels like 20 years, okay? I mean, poor guy.
I just barely looked at Twitter Spaces. Heather was talking, and I saw Carlos was there. I'm like, oh, this is perfect. So,
my brain, oh my gosh, my ears, like smoke was coming ears too. And you're like, you're gonna hear from Carlos. Like, you better believe she is, man. Hold on, let me just tag in right now.
See that, Heather? Carlos has got you on radar, so you better quit talking shit about Dominik.
I started twitching on my lunch. I was like, oh, so was I. I mean, he's like the best heel they have right now. Getting spayed, like only if Angie was wearing a chancla and would have threw him her sandal, would have been even better. The belt works too, or we had him pick a stick off the tree, like we used to do back in the day. But the whole thing was great though. The entrance was awesome. I thought it was great. Like I'm just like really like.
Well, didn't we call that a switch back in the day?
Yeah, switch. But your girlfriend's just like go pick your stick. But in Mexican culture, it's the chancla, it's the sandal. You don't want to see mom grabbing that sandal off her foot. You're in trouble.
Oh, I thought it was the pinata record.
Nope.
The chancla, or if they start using your middle name, then you have to creep without a paddle too. Oh shit! Here comes the middle name.
Well, since we have Carlos here, do you want to give your take on the Rey Mysterio and Dominik match?
I thought it was great. I mean, I thought it was one of the best matches of the night. And again, it was just, the whole entrances were good. Paying homage to Eddie, I thought it was great. And again, I guess I'm glad Bray lost. I'm glad Dominik lost. I guess because it carries on the feud, and now he's like the chicken shit heel. But he's like the best heel they have. So besides, he's the only one that's there because Roman's never there. So I thought it was a really well done match. I thought the entrances were really well. And again, Dominik, he showed me a lot. Like he's improved a lot in the ring. Considering from going from jobbing to veer on Raw like that earlier that year. I think it was just a really good showing for him. And again, the one thing I'll give Triple H credit for, because again, I think he's just Vince McMahon Jr. after how they booked Cody Rhodes, but I like that he's giving Ray more respect as a legend. So I do like seeing that.
Will?
Yes.
I kind of feel like we need to cut the tension with the knife here between Heather and Carlos, so I figured we'll go to you.
All right. Well, honestly, I think they did a pretty good job. The only thing that I really thought that could be perceived as kind of negative is I just found it a little too predictable. But this was my favorite showing of Dom. I think he did excellent in this match.
Yeah, I think he's definitely shown much improvement in the last year in the ring. And being paired up with Judgment Day, I'm starting to like it better and better as it goes. I know Heather doesn't like that, but I mean, I think you're going to see this faction around for another year or two at best. And I say, see what we're putting up with here, Carlos. We can't get our words in, but anyhow, yeah, it's just I think it'll be another year or two, and I think we're going to see Judgment Day disappear, and they'll go their own paths as Dom gets better. Damian Priest should really be on his own, really.
Yeah.
There's no reason for him to be in a group. Rhea Ripley, speaking of her, why don't we just go ahead and get into it? Ends up winning the WWE SmackDown Championship against Charlotte Flair, and what was definitely worthy of being either the main event or a co-main event for the night. Unfortunately, I just thought it was in the wrong... I think it was one match lower than where it should have been in the card as compared to the match we'll talk about after that. But great performance by both women. Charlotte Flair definitely passed the torch to Rhea on that, made her earn it. I could not say any more than this deserved to be a 5-star match as well.
I've got to get the order in which I say this right, because otherwise we're screwed. I thought it was an awesome match. This is the part I need to get right. I called it a banger women's match, not the other way around.
Yeah,
well, I love the fact that Charlotte did pass on the torch the way she did. She made it a very good match. Rhea did extremely well. I'm looking forward to seeing good results out of where Charlotte's going with the bodybuilding competitions and whatnot.
Oh, is she getting into that more?
Yep.
I didn't even notice.
Yeah,
so.
that's the direction she's taking now.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, Charlotte did have a scary moment in that match where I can't remember if it was like a backflip or something.
No, she was getting suplexed and way overdid it.
And she landed
face first,
which that was when I first watched that. I'm like, oh God, she's gonna be concussed.
Yeah, or
even worse, maybe broke her neck.
And
it was not a good landing, but
and instead she pretty much just got an owie on the nose.
Yeah, she lucked out on that.
Yeah.
So, but anyhow, Heather, why don't you give us your take on that?
Yeah, I thought it was a good match. But yeah, they said that she ended up getting like a rug burn on her nose, and then they said something about Rhea might have chipped a tooth or something. Because they said when she smiled at the camera, it looked like she had a chip in her tooth, maybe, but they never did say anything else about that. I just saw that somewhere. But yeah, I thought it was an excellent match, and it's time. It's Rhea's time. It's time for her to have her. Jesus Christ, I cannot even speak. It's her time to shine. Yeah, it was a great, excellent match. And it's Rhea's time to shine. There you go.
And the next match.
God.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
All right, because you better be careful. We got Carlos in here still. I don't know if he's able to talk. But.
We're getting to the next match. So,
anyways, yeah, Pat McAfee and The Miz was the dud of the night. I think definitely that's where Charlotte and Rhea should have been as far as match placement.
I fast-forwarded it.
I mean, I love Pat McAfee, don't get me wrong. It was exciting to see The Miz lose, but that should have been more in place before even the Rey Mysterio and Dominik match, as far as where I'm concerned.
Yeah, I literally just fast-forwarded it through that.
Well, you must have watched it after the live.
I was about 30 minutes behind.
Oh, okay. Then you did yourself a favor. Did you want to say anything much on that match, Heather?
I love Pat McAfee, and I hate Miz, so yeah, glad Pat McAfee won. That's about it.
Watch it with the Miz slander too. I mean, you're staying on thin ice here.
Oh, look who decides to chime in now.
I got 20 minutes, so I can chime in for 20 more minutes.
Oh, okay.
So be on your P's and Q's.
Here we go. See that, Heather? You got them all riled up. You're gonna have.
No, but like I agree with you guys. For me, to me, there should have been. They could have given this time to other talent that they could have had, like LA Knight or Bronson Reed, other people that deserved a shot on the card should have been on this. And two, like you're in LA, you're gonna have a player from the 49ers show up. Like how fucking stupid are you guys being? Like they were just asking for trouble with all this shit. And I'm over Pat McAfee too. If he's not gonna be on SmackDown, I don't want to see him on there no more. And I think it should have been Pat McAfee versus Corey Graves, honestly. Like, give Corey a match. Like, I would have been happier with that. I would have been happier with that. Like, Corey, you have someone there who works every week, who does the after the Bell podcast. Like, to me, if they were going to do it should have been Pat McAfee versus Corey Graves. You can even tell Corey Graves is pissed during commentary. Like, dude, like let him have a match. You know, he's not injured anymore. I'd rather see him get some shine than that. And again, it was just they just did Miz dirty too. Like. Miz is. I know a lot of people don't like him, but he's a company man, and I would like just give him an actual match if you're gonna have him on there. You know that he can prepare for instead of having to wrestle in like bedazzled sweats. It just was stupid.
Wow. I don't think he sugarcoated that either. So why don't we get right to the main event for the night, which was for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn become your new undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions, dethroning the Usos' 600-day reign. Why don't we go ahead and start with Heather on this one?
Wow. Okay. Wow, the pre-breath.
Yeah,
I thought she's gonna cue some music, like streamer music and stuff like that, and like hip hop, like have a little like music in the background dancing.
No, oh my god, this match, I'm telling you, it had like I was just oh my god, I loved it. Like, but you know, like it just had me ready to just pull my hair out. All of the just oh my god, I'm sorry, I can't even talk. But I loved it. It was an excellent match. Sammy and KO really deserve to be the new champs. The ending where Sammy hit Jay with the 3 haluva kicks, just excellent. Like he just really took him out, and like Sammy and KO just deserve to be the champs. And thank God the Usos lost their belts. And if they get them bitches back in 2 weeks, I'm going to find Triple H and whoever, Vince McMahon, whatever, and I'm going to knock them upside the head. Yes, I said it.
Carlos, do you have an opinion, or you want to?
I thought it was a really good match, and again, like, to me, like Charlotte and Rhea should have opened the thing, because John, I don't know what you guys said about that match was a joke with John Cena. Like, just put him in the Hall of Fame and let him retire already. But to me, like, it deserved the main event. It was really well done. The right team won. It was great storytelling. Yeah, I thought it was really, really good. But I agree with Heather. Like, if they drop the belts just because they're going to be in Saudi, and they decided to change the premium live event to Night of Champions instead of Key and Queen of the Ring, I'm going to be pissed too. I'll hold Vince for you while you slap the shit out of him. But I just agree. To me, like, don't do this. You know, don't change the belts off them just because you're going to go to Saudi and they don't want to work there. Like, that's ridiculous. And again, to me, like, why are you going to call it Night of Champions when your tag team champions might not even be there? So, yeah, I just think I don't want to see them lose the belts just because of that. That would be ridiculous. I agree with Heather on that part.
I don't have a whole lot to add to this. You guys pretty much covered it all. I'm just more interested in seeing what directions they go from here.
Yeah, right team won. They choreographed the match really well. I thought it was I'm not saying it exactly in terms of how it was laid out like Steamboat and Savage, but it was definitely done right, and it was an exciting night one for WrestleMania. Way to send the fans home happy, and I don't think there was any way you can make night one any better except for probably getting rid of the McAfee and Miz match. So, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and take another break here. We're going to come back and cover night 2. Let's get right into night 2 of WrestleMania. Brock Lesnar defeating Omos in the opening match. Let's get Carlos's take on that right away.
Yeah, so actually, I was actually pleasantly surprised by this match. I think Omos actually carried himself really well. But and again, now knowing that Brock stuck around, I definitely think the right person won. But at the same time, I don't get the point of pushing Omos. I guess he got a 1-week push when Vince was back for Raw, but it was actually, I was pleasantly surprised by the match. It was entertaining, and I guess it was cool to see Brock lift him up. The match wasn't long, so I mean, it was the right amount of time. So again, I was pleasantly surprised by it. It was better than I thought it'd be. There's not much to say about it, but I mean, I did better than I thought it was.
Heather?
It was better than I thought it was going to be, because, I've been grappling about it the whole time, because I was like, what is even the purpose of this match, because I don't like Almost. But yeah, it was actually better than to actually see Brock F5 Almost. And then I also noted that they said that was Brock's first win since 2018 at WrestleMania. So, but yeah, it was an okay match.
Yeah. I don't have anything really pleasant to say about it.
Really? I thought you would be the one to defend this a little bit.
No, because I'm just tired of seeing them, push somebody to be somebody who just keeps squashing everybody, and then you stick them in a big event and have them lose every time.
Yeah, that's the only thing I did disagree with. I think Omos should have won that match.
Yeah.
Based on the fact that he was trying to show that he could overpower Brock and dominate him in some ways. Not saying it was a bad idea to have Brock defeat him, but now you got 2 WrestleManias straight where you had Omos being promoted as this very powerful Nigerian giant, and he loses back to back. I just don't think they did him any favors.
I don't see a point to it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little scared to see what WWE has in store for Omos, but let's see what happens here shortly. I hope they start booking him right, but they need to book him as an attraction, not as a weekly show talent. There's just no reason for it.
Yep.
The women's WrestleMania showcase match, the Fatal 4-Way tag, that one just baffled me. I thought it was a dud. But the team of Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler defeats the teams of Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, Natalia and Shotzi, and Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green. I don't have anything on this.
I don't either.
Heather?
No.
Trash. That's actually garbage.
All right. Well, I think we all covered that one. It sucked. Especially when we know one of those teams ends up becoming new champions. So
Well, they should have won. And if Ronda and Shayna weren't going to be around, if they were injured, then they shouldn't have won the damn match. Stupid.
yeah, they should have replaced them with another duo, but the match just was not done very well. I thought 3 of the teams who didn't win were able to showcase and contribute, but the team who won didn't contribute to it, so it made no sense. So,
And to me, Natalia and Tamina should be together. Like the veterans looking for respect. And put them back as a tag team. They were my favorite tag team. And then put Shotzi with Tegan Knox. I just don't like any of these pairings.
yeah,
They're stupid.
it was like we're just trying to rush to get people on the card, and that's not a good way.
It should have been a number 1 contenders match. It should have purpose to it.
Well, it's not a good case to have your biggest night of the year, your biggest event of the year look like this. It was just a mess. But while we go into the triple threat for the Intercontinental Championship match, I thought this was stellar. I mean, Sheamus and Gunther had a 5-star match at Clash at the... No, it wasn't Clash at the Castle, was it? Yeah, it was Clash
Yeah,
of
it was.
Yeah, it
Castles.
was.
Yes, it
Yeah.
was. Sorry. Getting my events mixed up. But I thought this deserved to be another 5-star match, only we had the addition of Drew McIntyre. However, Gunther retains over Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. I was at a loss of words at how good this match was.
Yeah, but I actually wrote down holy shit banger.
Holy shit, banger.
Yeah.
This now I'm going to leave it alone.
Okay, we watching Pornhub before you watch WrestleMania? I mean,
No, sir.
Jesus.
I just forgot a comma.
I'll say it.
Well, I mentioned to Will that I watched GCW last night. And the team of Bang Bros. I'm like, wait a minute. They had to have.
Oh, good Lord.
They had to stop Sheamus and Drew from using that similar name, but these guys.
Well, they get away with it because they use licensed music and stuff too. It's because they're not on anybody's radar, so that's why they get away with it.
Well, they did mention. Make sure you Google Bang Bros
Oh,
Wrestling.
good Lord, Jesus.
Anyhow, yeah. We won't get any more detail. But Heather, what did you think of the match?
Oh, I thought it was a great match. It deserved 5 stars, like I said. I think it was the match of the night. Because I was telling you before, I just thought night 2 sucked at WrestleMania. So I thought that was the best match of the night.
Carlos?
So this will be my last one. Then I got to go back to work. But I thought it was an excellent match. For me, if you're gonna have Gunther this far, I want to see Gunther. I want to see him dethrone the Honky Tonk Man's record for longest Intercontinental Champion, because Honky Tonk Man's is a lot of hot garbage, and so I want to see Gunther replace him. And the thing is, it was an excellent match. I would like to see Sheamus eventually defeat Gunther, but when he does it, I want to see Sheamus have to put his career on the line to get one more shot at Gunther, and eventually he does beat Gunther for the Intercontinental title. But overall, it was a great match, and hearing how Drew was injured too, again, it's what really got WrestleMania Night 2 kicking off. And again, just kudos to all those guys. And I'm gonna bid adieu to you guys. Have fun with the rest of the show, and I'll be back with you guys next week.
All right, sounds good. Have fun tonight. I hope you get to touch Brian Cage a little bit.
Woo, woo.
Me too. I'm gonna
In a
ask to touch the
professional
bicep,
manner.
Don't you worry. I'm gonna measure the bicep, for research purposes.
All right, go have fun.
I'll look if I see Melissa in the crowd before I do anything.
Well, we'll look forward to getting your feedback on that next week. So
Yeah, sounds good. All right, talk to you guys later.
All right.
Have a good rest of the day.
take care, Hart.
Yeah, bye.
All right, well, let's move on to the Raw Women's Championship match. Bianca Belair defeating Asuka. I was impressed. I was actually totally wrong on this. I thought for sure Asuka was going to dethrone her, but they decided to have Bianca retain. What did you think of the match overall?
I thought the actual match was absolutely great. I was with you on thinking that Asuka was going to be the victor, so I kind of just wrote boo.
Well, the one thing I thought was awesome that was different in a typical Asuka playing more the heel was she missed the mist spray.
Yeah.
Bianca had played it like she scouted it and did it very well, and I don't know if you could have done it any better. I do think Asuka though should have been the one to win. But I don't know. I'm liking the longer title reigns too because it brings some prestige to the championships. And my only worry is who's next for Bianca.
Yeah, that's my thing with it. Is I don't want to see them go back to the old things. I go back to the previous people that she's already faced over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, we need to. I'm hoping with the draft coming up shortly. I think it's supposed to happen just before Backlash, I believe. We're going to hopefully see some new faces and new opponents for Bianca. But Heather, what did you think of the Raw Women's Championship match?
I thought it was a good match. I thought Asuka was gonna get the belt though. But I think they said that now Bianca has had the belt for a year. I think that's what they were wanting to do was let her get the title reign of a year, and Jesus, I'm sorry, I'm getting a headache. But yeah, I thought it was a good match, and but like I said, I thought Asuka was going to win, but Bianca did an excellent job, and it's just I enjoyed the match.
All right, and I can't believe I'm going to bring this up. The Miz and Snoop Dogg come out and have a little spat because Miz is upset that Snoop Dogg authorized the match last night with Pat McAfee, but then I guess we get the impromptu return of Shane McMahon, which lasted, 5 minutes?
Bottle rocket.
So Snoop authorizes a match between Shane and The Miz, and Shane didn't even last a couple minutes. He ends up, was it tearing his ACL?
I believe it was.
His quad.
His quad?
Wow.
His quad. Yeah.
I mean, you could tell Shane was definitely not needing to be in the ring that night. His voice was terrible. It just was not a good night for the return. And, give props to Snoop Dogg for being improvising on trying to get the show rolling. He ends up taking Shane's spot and gives Miz the people's elbow, gets the pin on the Miz, and has his first WrestleMania victory. I just can't believe we're actually talking about this. It's the shits. You have anything?
No.
Heather?
No.
All right, let's move
Thought
on.
it was funny.
All right. This one was the really big surprise for me, the Hell in the Cell match between Edge and Demon King Finn Balor. Edge gets the victory. I really thought Finn Balor being Demon King in this match would definitely get over, because you wouldn't think they would want a back-to-back loss on Demon King, but they did.
Yep.
And it's a new history maker there for that one.
I thought it was an excellent match. That they gave it a great amount of time. The back and forth was good. I was more surprised about just how brutal they got with each other.
Well, yeah, especially with the ladder spot.
Yeah.
Finn obviously, I don't know if there was just miscommunication where that ladder was going to land, but obviously Finn wasn't able to defend it fast enough, and I think Edge may have not got the ladder in the right spot.
Oh, no, he definitely caught that ladder straight in the...
Well, yeah, I think he required 14 staples. I think it was reported.
Yeah, 14.
14, yeah. It was really bad. I mean, poor Finn had to go throughout and finish that match, but luckily for, medical staff being ringside, they were able to continue the match and still made it look good to finish off. So, what's your thoughts, Heather?
I'm sorry, I missed that match. I had something came up and I ended up missing the match.
Oh,
yeah, somebody from Judgment Day came in.
Yeah, you definitely need if you get time, Heather, you definitely need to go back and rewatch that one. That was pretty good from bell to bell there. So,
yeah, I heard it was. I was surprised that Edge won. After I heard that, I was like, what?
Well, I think that shocked everyone, because all of us that recorded the week before WrestleMania, we all predicted Demon King, and sure enough, we were all wrong.
I did not.
Yeah.
Well, you weren't here at the recording, so that don't count.
Sure it does.
Well, yeah, because when I heard that it was Demon King coming, I was like, okay, for sure he's gonna win, And then like when I heard the Edge one, I was shocked, Because then I heard about the 14 staples, and I was like, wow, Because I missed that match, So I was like, wow.
Yeah, he opened up Demon King pretty good on that one. So.
Well, looks like it's time to get into the grime.
Yeah, Heather's favorite match of the night. For the main event on night 2 for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship, the Tribal Chief retains over Cody Rhodes.
We're going to let Heather take this away.
Let's let Heather get this out first.
Oh my God. I'm telling you, man, I was so mad. All through all through the match, I was screaming at the TV. I was pulling my hair. I'm just I swear to God, I bet my neighbors thought somebody's over here killing somebody. I was thinking to myself, y'all please don't call the police. I'm over here, I'm just yelling at the TV, don't call the police. But I'm telling you, that just, oh my God, just of course the ref bump, you always got to freaking have that. And then of course the Usos, wanting to get involved, but then Sami and KO coming out there, and then Solo, he was wanting, he gotten involved, but then he was sent off. But then of course his ugh, he come out there and did the Samoan spike, and then, but like, why did you let Roman retain? Like, that was so stupid. Like, you just let everybody down. Like I said, the whole freaking audience was like, what the fuck? Like, why? Like, you just like let the whole audience down, and like everybody was just quiet. Like, I was sitting here watching it with my son, and we were sitting there and we was just and we're just like, what? You know, wait, and my son, he just got mad. He just threw something and walked out of the room, because everybody thought, you know, that Cody was gonna win. Like, this is what you hyped up. You hyped it up. Cody's coming back. He's gonna finish the story. You know, he's gonna win. And then you let Roman win. Like, are you stupid or something? Like, no. And I'm telling you, I was so pissed. Like, I started saying, like, I'm done with WWE. But you know how many times I've said that when something stupid happened? But, you know, I'm not ever going to stop watching wrestling, you know? But, yeah, like, I've got this written down here. I was like, fuck this match. Let's go what I've written down here, you know? But, yeah. But, yeah, I mean, no, okay? Like, screw it. Like, fuck you, Roman. Okay, yeah, I'm done.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's the only reason that I was laughing so hard that night in our private chat. It's just, I could see you just flipping out.
She was probably seeing flames.
I'm telling you, man. Mine was like, my son was like, "Will you be quiet? Stop!" I was like, "No!" I was like, "This is stupid."
The big thing that crossed,
he got mad.
big thing that crossed my mind with the ending of this match is it kind of said to me, "Here's big Vinnie Mac."
I don't think it was necessarily a Vinnie Mac decision. I think there's probably a few things, maybe, and they make sense, but I'm not going to get into great detail, other than the fact that maybe the only reason I think they decided to continue it was the possible talks of Cody facing Roman again at SummerSlam. And the only reason they would put it off then is because then Roman would hit over 1,000 days in his reign.
Yeah.
And I honestly would say, as disappointed as I was that Cody didn't win, especially on the grandest stage of them all, I'm not mad over having them have Roman still hold the championship.
And if you stop and you think about it, that's kind of been Cody's gimmick for the last, 6 years is, you know, he sits there, he builds up, loses, and finally gets the win.
Right. Well, the thing of it is in those 6 years, he's became Ring of Honor champion.
Yeah.
He's became the NWA champion. So, you know, the only reason I was disappointed, because I remember in an interview, Cody's goal was to have won 3 world championships in 3 different promotions. And this would have completed it right here. I was a little disappointed. However, I just didn't like the aftermath on Raw where they had Brock destroy him. That just...
That was stupid, man.
I shook my head. I'm like, so they're going to use Brock Lesnar as yet another roadblock for Cody getting to the world championship again. It just drives me nuts when they do that, but I can understand the point. Maybe they're looking to find a way to do a triple threat match where both titles are on the line. Like the first fall, the winner gets the world title. The second fall, the winner gets the Universal title, or vice versa. That's almost the direction I can see this going, but I don't know either. It just, I wasn't mad with the results. I gave it a couple of days to kick in. I knew the wrestling universe was going to lose their shit, which they did. Anyone who saw my tweet asking what I thought, what did you think of Roman Reigns defeating Cody? And I would say it was probably a good 70-30 mix. 70% people were pissed off Cody didn't win. 30% were happy that Roman retained.
Huh.
Yeah, it surprised me.
I can't really agree with them about that. I laughed.
I
laughed for 2 days.
I actually had a few people in my DMs go, "You can quote me on this. Fuck you, Roman." I'm like, they must have been talking to Heather for one, but but two, it's like, okay, you're taking wrestling just a little too extreme now. If this is a fuck you, Roman,
That's what kept me laughing the second day, is just the reactions.
Yeah, I mean, just. I get it. People are disappointed. They wanted to see, and there's nothing wrong with being passionate as a fan. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to discredit those of you saying "fuck you, Roman," but Roman didn't write the script. He's just the guy. He's just the guy following the commands and performing it well, mind you. But,
he's still an asshole.
whoa, jeez, Heather's just, man. She's got this negative vibe today, but no, I didn't see anything wrong with Roman retaining. As I've mentioned before, I'm a big fan of seeing lengthy title runs if they make sense, and the only thing is they keep going further with Roman. They need to either start bringing in some fresh blood, or whoever they have now, they better find somebody that will defeat him, and deservingly so. Cody so far is the only one. I think after WrestleMania, we all saw it. Cody had him. Sammy had him. Brock could have had him.
KO had him twice.
Yeah, KO. Well, yeah, KO faced him 3 times actually. So, I mean, eventually somebody's got to defeat Roman. It can't be too much longer, I would say. I'm thinking
Everybody's saying it's going to be Jay.
Yeah, I just don't see Jay defeating him yet either.
I would see them actually throwing Solo in first.
I think Jay would be the reason Roman loses the title, but isn't the one who takes the title off him. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, that's where I would go as far as the Jay use. So, because I think you should keep Jay and Jimmy together unless you're looking to get Solo somewhere in there with Jimmy. It's hard to tell. But as far as my overall rating for WrestleMania, I'd give it about an 8.5. What would you say? On a scale of 10, sorry.
Honestly, I would give it a 6, just because night 2 was kind of a dud.
Wow. Heather, do I dare ask?
I'm telling you, night 1 was the best. It was excellent. Night 2 sucked.
Yeah.
I mean, I could, the only thing, it sucked. The best match, the best match was the Gunther and Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. That was the best match right there. Screw the main event, totally. But yeah, it was, I'm going to go with William. It's about a 6.
All right. We're going to take a small break, and we'll come back, give our shout-outs, and wrap it up. And that's going to wrap it up for this week's episode of the Wrestling Fans Insight. Thank you to Libsyn.com for hosting our podcast and providing it to every available audio platform. We also want to thank StreamYard for making it available for us to do a simultaneous cast between their server and Twitter Space. Go visit our website at www.wrestlingfansinsight, insight spelled INCITE.com to find us on your favorite audio platform. We're available on GoodPod, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Deezer, Ghana, YouTube, and much more. If you like our podcast and want to be notified of our latest releases, please subscribe on our page, WrestlingFansInsight.com, or whichever audio platform you listen on. While you're at it, if it's possible, give us a 5-star rating and review, and we'd be happy to read your review on future recordings. You can also follow and interact with us on Twitter. William, you want to give yours?
It's at William Hoppy 8.
Heather?
It's at BamaGirl _4 _EVA. BamaGirl forever. Roll Tide, bitches.
Hey, there she is. All right. And for those of you who listened, Carlos was on here as well. You can follow him at C to the LOS77, which is his personal Twitter, or you can visit his nonprofit at Conquer the No. And for me, you can follow me at WF Insight Podcast. If you're on Facebook, look for our group, The Fans of Pro Wrestling. And lastly, if you'd like to leave us a text or voicemail, our number is 1-385-367-4772. We hope you enjoyed this week's program, and we'll be back next Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, here on Twitter Space. Twitter Space. Shut up. Be safe, be kind, and have a great week, everyone.